A public forum held in West Grand Bahama to discuss matters relating to the business licensing process. Grand Bahama gearing up for a major tech summit. And a veteran journalist here in the north participating in an international program.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news this evening, the West Grand Bahama District Administration Office hosting a town meeting at the 8 Mile Rock Gymnasium last evening to discuss matters relating to business licenses. Officials from the Department of Inland Revenue, the Royal Bahamas Police Force, Department of Environmental Health Services, and Ministry of Works were in attendance. Ramiko Knowles has our top story.
Business owners in the 8 Mile Rock and West End communities assembling at the 8 Mile Rock Gymnasium to learn about the proper procedure to apply for business licenses. Administrator for West Grand Bahama, Christian Palacios, admonishes all business owners to ensure that they are operating within the confines of the law.
A lot of persons haven't been compliant over the years, and they're now wanting to become compliant, and so we decided to reach out to the relevant agencies who are responsible for this process to put on this town meeting tonight so persons can be informed as to what steps they need to take to ensure that they become compliant.
Officer in charge of Capital Works and Special Projects at the Ministry of Works, Tony Bannister, expressed some of the challenges they have been experiencing in the Western District. Bannister says that a number of stop orders had to be issued to persons for operating their businesses without going through the proper channels.
When you're issued a stop order, it's for a reason. Persons call in and they report it. Or we're passing, doing our other job, and we see that you're building without the permission of the Town Planning Committee, which comprises of the administrator and her other representatives. Or you're not building according to a plan that has come in for approval, or you're encroaching on somebody else's property. Please cease and desist from doing that, especially when it comes. We have, that's particularly with car washes and that type of stuff.
Police Sergeant in charge of the licensing unit, Leslie Phillips, says that officers on Grand Bahama have already begun inspecting businesses, as there will be a no tolerance for vendors operating without licenses in the new year.
We started our inspection 2 weeks ago for the new calendar year to make sure that we cover the whole Grand Bahama from Swedenski to West End. We have already completed East Grand Bahama yesterday from Swedenski, Deepwater Key, McLeanstown, Pelican Point, High Rock, Bevanstown. And so we'll be moving into West End sometime tomorrow and work our way back to Freeport to make sure that everyone is inspected on time, so there'll be no excuse.
Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Ramiko Knowles.
The countdown is on to the second annual Grand Bahama Technology Summit, slated for November 14th through the 16th at the Grand Lucan Resort, under the theme, The Future is Now. Key players in this innovative and lucrative industry from around the world are expected to meet on Grand Bahama to chart the way forward for this island. The nation's chief Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, will officially open the three-day conference next Wednesday. Tonight, we begin our profile on the featured presenters. Managing Director of GIBC Digital for the Americas, Mark Godson, is set to deliver a keynote address on the company's 2020 digital transformation plan. GIBC Digital opened its doors in Grand Bahama earlier this year as one of the first companies to benefit from the government's Commercial Enterprise Act. As the government focuses on making Grand Bahama a tech hub, a local tertiary institution is placing greater emphasis on preparing Bahamians to take advantage of opportunities that lie ahead. Sabrina Brown reports.
As the government works to find innovative ways to stimulate economic growth, lecturer at Tarif College, Shubert Das Gupta, is encouraging all Bahamians to pursue higher learning in order to be able to compete in a global market. He says the Bahamas can stand against any big country if it continues to produce quality people through quality education.
as we improve our education system and the quality of education, we will improve our economy. It's no point us crying, we're suffering the economy bad. We do not have the skilled resources to attract high-quality investors who are doing upmarket kind of things.
Technology ranks high on the government's agenda, and Dasgupta believes this industry has great potential for Grand Bahama.
The highest paid profession in the U.S. now is what they call data scientists, all right? Because there's a massive shortage of them. So Tarif, we have an information management and computer science degree. Remember, companies will come when there's a skilled workforce available. They don't want to import people. They might want to import the boss, but they need tech workers, all right? And they will look for areas where the skilled workforce is there, where they don't have to start from scratch. They can do some specialized training, but they want a trained workforce. Have the people ready, the investors will come.
Jamal Storr is completing an associate's degree in computer science at Tarif. He's looking forward to opportunities that will become available in the field of technology on the island.
I feel like we're lacking in technology in the Bahamas, and when the opportunity becomes available, I want to have the skills necessary to fit certain job requirements.
He's excited that the government is focused on making Grand Bahama a tech hub.
It makes me feel as though I made the right decision, and everything that I'm doing, all the hard work, all the long hours, isn't in vain. That it'll be easier for me to function when the time comes.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
A local technical institute is continuing its mandate of creating more opportunities for young persons on island. Jay Philippe tells us more.
Over the last 13 years, Ruthnell Technical Institute, formerly known as Total Educational Center, has exposed residents, especially young people, to quality technical and educational experiences. President Fred Delancey talks about the recent accreditation recognition for the institution.
Over the years, RTI certificates, they were and they remain recognized by most of the major industrial companies here. But today, I'm happy to announce or share with you that the government of the Bahamas, under the National Accreditation and Equivalency Council of the Bahamas, has approved Ruthnell Technical Institute to offer the following certificate courses like welding, carpentry, construction technology, diesel and auto mechanics, electrical technology, electronics, office administration, heavy equipment operation, renewable energy, mostly wind and solar energy, cosmetology and barbering, and hotel and catering.
All technical certificates awarded by Ruthnell Technical Institute will be recognized locally, nationally, and internationally.
The Ruthnell Technical Institute is in the process, we're in the process of establishing strong partnerships, I should say, relationships with colleges and technical schools in New York, that's in Bonaventure University, in Canada as well, and also Florida and in Jamaica technical schools. In other words, our credits are not transferable.
In an effort to help young people to develop their skills, Ruthnell Technical Institute will commence a tech prep program for junior and senior high students on Saturdays from 1 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. at the Hawksbill campus.
This is a technical preparatory program which exposes these children to different technical careers, mostly hands-on in nature, practical skills. And also, too, what it does, it introduces them to technical field trips to the various industrial companies. They are exposed to exhibitions, workshops, seminars, teachers, and also human resource personnel and other managers within the industrial workforce who can actually guide them along to show them what is available out there.
It is anticipated that this tech program will help to mature and develop young persons' talent to help make better career decisions. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Jay Philippe.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Education hosting its annual Religious Knowledge Speech Competition on Grand Bahama this week at the C.A. Smith Building in Freeport. The topic, the missing piece. A number of contestants from the various primary schools on Grand Bahama and Bimini made presentations on the topic. District Superintendent for East Grand Bahama, Yvonne Ward, talks about the significance of the competition.
through these competitions, they learn how they can assist. As young people, we know we need to start with them, because if we start with them and they learn how to tolerance, learn to accept one another, to respect one another, all of that helps to build world peace. And so we can have them coming together and building peace amongst themselves. We know that this will carry over in our society and in our nation.
Subject Secretary responsible for examinations, Alcina Duncombe, says these competitions assist students with their annual exams.
As you know, we've just come out of one examination cycle, and the examination cycle has begun again. And so all these subjects, religious studies, social studies, and all of those subjects help them to better prepare themselves for the examination and, of course, improve our grades and the overall performance of the schools.
The first place winner for the Eastern Division is Eldrin Ingram from the Freeport Primary School. And for the Western District, the winner is Sierra Bethel of the Martintown Primary School. Both students will compete on November 23rd in New Providence. A veteran journalist on Grand Bahamas selected to participate in the U.S. State Department exchange focused on broadcast media. Natalie Martinborough, Deputy News Director here at the Broadcast Corporation of the Bahamas Northern Service, has been selected to participate in the U.S. Department of State's International Visitor Leadership Program, which began on October 27th and runs through November 17th in the United States. A press release from the U.S. Embassy notes that a core policy of the U.S. foreign policy is to encourage a free and responsible press that allows a well-informed citizenry to hold governments and institutions accountable. The program will examine the history, structure, and function of broadcasting in the United States and the challenges and opportunities posed by social media. The veteran broadcast journalist joins more than 20 journalists and editors from diverse countries, including Hong Kong, Poland, Nigeria, New Zealand, Egypt, Russia, and Ghana. During the IVLP exchange, she will visit Washington, D.C., Columbia, South Carolina, Minneapolis, Minnesota, and Sacramento, California. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us. There's more news right after this break.